The running back market in free agency has finally caught some traction. Yes, that's right. We've got some signings. Todd Gurley headed to the Falcons. Melvin Gordon headed to the Broncos. I'm here to break all of that down. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Tall back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. If you're an NFL fan, folks, you are going to want to be subscribed to the channel. I have been bringing you guys the latest and greatest in NFL free agency, and I will continue to do so. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you're an NFL fan, and make sure to turn on my post notifications, and make sure to follow me on my social media links down below and on the screen for that. So here to break down these deals with Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon, talk about the impact here and if they're good or not. So let's get into it right now. So let me start with Todd Gurley here and then move on to Melvin Gordon. So Todd Gurley wasn't even a free agent, okay? Wasn't even a free agent. He was on the Rams. They basically cut him, okay? Released him because they had to make a decision. If they had kept him on the roster past that certain amount of time, then he would have been owed about 10.5, around that 10.5 million, okay? And they just felt like they did not want to pay Todd Gurley that much money. They have actually botched their salary cap situation, which I'll get into in a second. And obviously, they felt like they could find a replacement, and so they cut Todd Gurley. And then immediately he found work with the Atlanta Falcons, who signed him to a, get this folks, okay, a 1-year, $6 million deal. That's it. $6 million for Todd Gurley. This is a guy who, before last season, when the injury issues popped up with the knee, went for 1,200 yards, like literally was an easy 1,000 yards rusher, one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the NFL, a 3-time Pro Bowler. Folks, if this doesn't tell you how the NFL sees running backs, I don't know what will. I get it. Todd Gurley's had some injury concerns with the knee. People are saying he's got arthritis. Get all of that. If he was 32, 33, I'd be very worried. Or even 30. Todd Gurley's 25. 25. That's it. It feels like he's been in the league forever. He's only 25. And I get it. The Rams have used him a lot. But at the same time, folks, 25. That's it. And this is how Todd Gurley is getting treated. So as far as the monetary amount here, I mean, this is a bargain. If Todd Gurley, even in a bad year, gave you last year about 800 plus rush yards, if he can even return to 70 to 80% of the form that he was for the Falcons, I mean, this is going to be an absolute steal. I mean, they cut Devontae Freeman. Todd Gurley's a clear upgrade over Devontae Freeman. This is a guy that can both run between the tackles and catch the football out of the backfield. I mean, I like this signing a lot for the Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, it's an upgrade, and the fact that they got him for cheap and it's a 1-year deal. I never have issues with 1-year deals because they're 1 year. It's the most low-risk, high-reward type of deals there are out there. So love this signing for the Atlanta Falcons. They got an absolute steal. And Todd Gurley, man, I did not think it would get this bad for him, but it did. Let's quickly switch over and talk about Melvin Gordon, who signed with the Denver Broncos. He got a little bit more money, 2 years and $16 million, with about 13.5 of that being guaranteed, so about $8 million a year. And with Melvin Gordon, we all remember he held out last year, okay? He held out, missed about the first 4 games because he wanted the Chargers to pay him. They refused to pay him, and it backfired, okay? This is why I tell you guys, holdouts, for the most part, it's worked for some players. Khalil Mack got the trade to the Bears, and, you know, he got paid. Like, for some players, it works out, but for the majority of them, especially at the running back position, oh, these holdouts never work out. And we saw it in Melvin Gordon's face here, where he clearly thought he was going to get paid a lot and couldn't really get it to happen. Now, again, $8 million a year, not bad, but it's not fully guaranteed. And the fact is, the funny thing is, he's going to a division rival, which apparently he chose to. Apparently, Melvin Gordon had a better offer from another team, but wanted to stay in the division to stick it to the Chargers. Okay, so you had a chance to get more money, and you turned it down because you want to stick it to the Chargers. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me here. If I'm Melvin Gordon, I'm just trying to get the bag. I don't really care what the Chargers think right now. And they obviously have Austin Eckler. They're not worried at all about Melvin Gordon. Austin Eckler at this point, he's better than Melvin Gordon. And he was the better back all of last season. So to me, again, I think that's a bit of a dumb move if he turned down more money. And in the situation with the Broncos, I mean, it's going to be a timeshare with him and Phillip Lindsay. He's not going to be the lead bell cow running back. I mean, I'm sure he will probably be the lead back, but it's still going to be a timeshare. And Phillip Lindsay's no slouch, so it's not like he's getting all the touches here, Melvin Gordon. So, like I said, in terms of the running back market, it is dry out here, folks. And that is why I always say with running backs, they're so dispensable that ideally, you should literally just draft a running back, use them up when it's time to pay him, draft another one. I know it sounds terrible, in theory, but folks, I mean, you take a look last year, who made the Super Bowl? We had the Chiefs with Damian Williams as their running back. We had the 49ers with Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, Raheem Mostert. Like, these guys are like, second or third backs on teams with good teams, really. And so, to me, there's a lot of undrafted guys. Like, you don't need an Ezekiel Elliott or a Christian McCaffrey or a Saquon Barkley. I'm not saying those guys aren't great and phenomenal. All I'm saying is, where were those guys last year with their teams? I mean, none of them made the playoffs. So, running back position, folks, it's very controversial. It's very polarizing, but I'm telling you, it is not the position you invest a lot of money in. There's always exceptions. Like, I still think Zeke is the best player on the Cowboys. But for the most part, it does not tend to pay off, and you technically don't need it. The most important position is quarterback. I can make the argument left tackle, your offensive line is important. Getting a pass rusher is important. So, like I said, running back's a little lower on the totem pole. And as far as these signings, though, I think for the Broncos, it doesn't really make too much sense to me. I like Phillip Lindsay. I would have kept him. I think getting Melvin Gordon, is a bit overrated. I mean, he's a good running back, a solid running back, but you had one. I would have much liked Melvin Gordon to go to a team like the Bills, maybe even the Bucks with Tom Brady and company. I mean, that would have been nice to see. So as far as both these two signings, I like it for the Falcons because they got a steal in terms of the money they have to pay Todd Gurley, but I don't like it too much for the Broncos because they already have a solid running back in Phillip Lindsay. And who knows what happens to Royce Freeman at this point. He's the number 3 guy now, and he could potentially be traded. So, to me, that's where I'm at. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree. Do you like these deals for both teams, the Broncos and the Falcons? And do you like it for the player, Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon? Let me know down below as always. Thanks for watching.